Good morning, pilot. Today you will learn how to launch the F-14B Tomcat from a carrier. Today's procedure will be according to the Case 1 departure pattern. You should consult the briefing diagram before the flight. The Case 1 departure from the carrier is used during fair weather conditions. After launch, you will execute a clearing turn away from the carrier with a 20-degree heading change, and then turn back towards the ship's base recovery course, or BRC. You will maintain 500 feet or below and an airspeed of about 300 knots. At a distance of 7 nautical miles from the carrier, you are free to climb and proceed on to your mission. This pattern will allow deconfliction with recovering and circling aircraft around the carrier. Tune the TACAN to 74 X-ray and make sure the TACAN is selected as the steering source on the PDCP. You may now turn the course knob on your HSD to correspond to the ship's BRC, which will aid you in keeping the correct radio from the ship during the departure. In this case, the BRC is 325 degrees. Note that your HUD and BDI, as well as BDHI, may indicate deviations as large as 30 degrees. This is due to the carrier's magnetic field, which disturbs our instruments and can vary depending on our position on the ship. The magnetic deviation will clear by itself shortly after takeoff, or by pressing and holding the heading knob on the compass control panel while flying straight and level. Press spacebar to continue. You will launch off of catapult 3 on the waist, just like the Tomcat to your left. Turn on nose wheel steering and taxi up behind the catapult. You can use differential braking to reduce the turn radius. You will have to carefully line up the aircraft with the catapult track to avoid any problems during launch. Line up the red marks on the side of the ship with your left shoulder. Once in position, in order to hook up to the catapult, you will have to kneel the nose wheel by pressing the nose strut switch downward. Press U to hook up to the catapult. Once you are hooked up, the jet blast deflector behind you will be raised. Press spacebar to continue. Move the wing sweep handle forwards to about the halfway point, then lower the handle to lock it in. Close the cover. Press Master Reset to allow the wing sweep controls on the throttle to function. This is required. Set the wing sweep to auto. Lower the flaps. Set trim to about 2 degrees nose up. Press spacebar to continue. Advance the throttles to nil, max drive thrust. In the F-14B, carrier launches are made with military power only. Execute a control wipeout. Wipeouts are always done in the following order: stick full forward, stick full aft, stick full left, stick full right, full left rudder, and full right rudder. Once the wipeout is complete and you are ready to launch, salute the chute. Execute a clearing turn to the left with about a 20-degree heading change, and then immediately turn right onto the VRC. Raise the landing gear and flaps. Maintain 300 knots and stay below 500 feet. Keep an eye on the vertical speed in your vertical speed indicator instrument or in the HUD. The sink rate is too high. Once you have reached 7 nautical miles distance from the carrier, you are clear to climb above 500 feet, then resume own navigation. This concludes the tutorial. Your next lesson will be the Case 1 landing tutorial. But don't dread it. The Tomcat will bring you down just fine. Good afternoon, pilot. Today is day 1 of carrier quals in the F-14B. I hope you studied the briefing diagram prior to the flight. Case 1 is the visual landing procedure in fair weather and is very similar to the FCLP pattern you used previously, only difference being the size of the landing area and the arresting gear. Your reel will help you with the checklist. You are lined up on the initial to the boat with your wings swept and the HUD in landing mode. Maintain 800 feet and 350 knots. As in the previous tutorial, a series of gates will help to guide you in the pattern. The carrier will be stationary, but with a strong wind down the deck. If you want, lower the hook for an arrested landing, or keep it raised if you want to make multiple attempts without traffic. Okay, here we go. Brake left, extend the speed brake, bank left 45 to 60 degrees, and maintain about a 3G turn at 800 feet. Remember, wings to auto at 280 knots, wheels down at 250, and flaps down at 225 knots. Extend your DLC and steadily descend so that you reach 600 feet on the downwind. Try to maintain on-speed AOA, the yellow donut on the AOA indicator, or the E-bracket around the reference point in the HUD. Maintain 600 feet.
Landing checklist.
Wing sweep,
20 degrees, auto.
wheels,
3 down. SAS, on, flaps, pull down. DLC, checked. Hook, down. Harness, locked. Speed brakes, extended. Brakes, checked. Fuel, 4.1. Checklist complete.
begin your turn when you see the rundown of the ship. Bank left between 27 and 30 degrees, maintain on-speed AOA, and descend at about 300 feet per minute. Ideally, you want to hit 450 feet at the 90 and enter the groove at 360 feet at 3/4 of a mile.
Tomcat, ball, 4.1.
Fly the ball. Use DLC to adjust your glide path. Remember your scan. Ball, lineup, angle of attack. Now flare the aircraft, and remember to power up when touching the deck in case you miss the wires and have to bolt her.
There's a friendly, 11 o'clock, 1 mile.